What's good, y'all? This is your boy, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. More blockbuster trades have happened today in the NBA. Now, the Indiana Pacers and the Sacramento Kings decided to swap a few players. So, this is a very interesting deal because the Sacramento Kings were in talks with the Philadelphia 76ers for dealing a couple of these players that got moved to the Pacers. But let me just talk about the details of the deal, and then we're going to discuss how this affects the Philadelphia 76ers because I think something is on the horizon. I'm just not sure what it is just yet. So the Indiana Pacers received Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson from the Sacramento Kings for Domantas Sabonis, Justin Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, and the future second round pick that's protected. Now, the Kings, they're 20 and 35, but they're only 2 games behind the New Orleans Pelicans for the number 10 spot in the playoff seeding. So the Kings are trying to make a move that positions them to get into the playoffs or squeak in as an 8th seed or maybe a 7th seed because we all know the 7th and 8th seed have to compete in the play-in with the 9th and 10th seed. So the Kings are trying to put themselves in that conversation by trading for a guy like Domantas Sabonis. Now, Sabonis is an all-star. He's a guy that's guaranteed to give you at least 20 and 10 a game, a proven defender. On top of that, they got some rotational pieces in Justin Holiday and Jeremy Lamb. Now, the Pacers, this is where things get interesting. I didn't expect the Kings to trade Tyrese Haliburton to the Pacers. I didn't expect them to trade Tyrese Haliburton at all, really, because Tyrese Haliburton has shown that he can be a starter in this NBA, and he's been putting up great numbers for a guy who hasn't been in the NBA that long. And then they moved on from Buddy Hield, who kind of fell out of the rotation. He turned into a second stringer, a rotational guy, really. And then they got the veteran Tristan Thompson, who has pretty much been a journeyman since leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers. Excuse me. But here's where things get a little interesting. Are the Indiana Pacers gearing up for a bigger deal? Did they trade for Tyrese Haliburton and Buddy Hield in order to make a deal with the Philadelphia 76ers for Ben Simmons? Now, the Philadelphia 76ers have been trying to get their hands on Tyrese Haliburton and potentially Buddy Hield in the Ben Simmons trade, but apparently the Sacramento Kings have bowed out of that deal. Maybe because the Philadelphia 76ers were asking for a bit too much. I know the Sixers wanted to get De'Aaron Fox, but clearly De'Aaron Fox is their cornerstone. And you know that because they moved on from Tyrese Haliburton, the guy that they just drafted last year. And it's funny because Tyrese Haliburton, he was all in on the Kings. He wanted to change the Kings culture. And look at that. As soon as you're there, you're gone. So this is a really interesting trade. This trade is more intriguing to me than the Pelicans and the Blazers trade, mainly because these are moves that can directly help both of these teams. Again, the Kings, they're trying to squeeze into the playoffs. They're trying to change their fortune. They needed a legit big outside of Marvin Bagley, who you don't really know where they are really with Marvin Bagley. Sometimes they're in love with us. Sometimes he falls out of the rotations. But you know for a fact that the Kings needed another big who can stretch the floor, who's a legitimate defender as well. He's an all-star and a guy that you pair with De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley, guys of that nature. You know that's a pretty decent lineup. So again, the Kings are trying to squeeze into the playoff conversation. The Pacers right now, they aren't really in favor with anybody. They haven't been doing well. They've been actually playing terribly, if we're being completely honest. But trading for a guy like Tyrese Haliburton, Buddy Hield, that allows them to stretch the floor. But again, I think the Pacers are gearing up for something bigger. I think they're trying to make a move for Ben Simmons, if that's the case, because the Kings didn't want to move on from him, but the Pacers look at it as well. Maybe if we get if we get Tyrese Haliburton and Buddy Hield from the Kings, maybe we can use that as ammo to bring in a guy like Ben Simmons. You never know. But I like Tyrese Haliburton. I like Buddy Hield. I like Domantas Sabonis. I think those guys are all talented pieces, and I can't really figure out who won or lost this trade. I feel like this was a pretty decent exchange for both parties, and I think both teams made out pretty well in the end. But you guys tell me what you think. You guys tell me who you think won the trade. Did the Pacers win the trade, receiving Tyrese Haliburton and Buddy Hield and Tristan Thompson? Did Sacramento Kings win the trade, getting a proven all-star and Domantas Sabonis, two rotational guys, and Justin Holiday and Jeremy Lamb, and a future second-round pick. I don't know. You guys be the judge. But if you ask me, I feel like both teams met up pretty well, and I'll leave it at that. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. One love, stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry.